Don't you just love airports? I tell you, standstill at 4 o'clock this morning was like a Millwall pitch invasion. But here we are, we're in Norway, we're at Oslo airport. Just going to go pick up our bags, go find out where Maddie is, and then we've got 2 weeks packrafting, hiking, fishing, bushcraft over in Sweden. A bit of a second-class citizen now you haven't got a EU passport. Well, that was fairly easy, so let's go find Matt. Here he is.
Hello, mate.
How are we doing?
Yeah, good. How are you doing?
Oh, shattered. Well, that's easy to find. Found him easily enough. I don't know what's going on here, but everything's going so smooth. Must be a sign of things to come. Right, so I think we've got about 2 hours, I reckon, until we get 2.5 hours until we get to Glaskogen, and just a nice easy day today because I think we're all both knackered. I've just flown, Matt's just driven up, so nice and easy day. So this spot, this is the reason that we're here. So I came to this spot about 8 years ago when we were traveling through to Värmland there to do some timber rafting, and we stopped here for a night. And I remember waking up about 4:30 in the morning and hearing wolves over in the distance there and thinking to myself, need to come back here. So that's half of the reason that we're here. Right then, so here we are at Glaskogen's visitors centre here. So Matt's just over there just trying to sort out any place where he can leave his canoe that he's brought over with him because he's here for 6 weeks. And yeah, here we are, absolutely beautiful. You can't beat the weather that we've got today, and it's forecast to be pretty good for the whole duration as well. Right, so we're just going to go in the visitor centre now, go pick up our cards, and then we'll make a slow way packing up because everything's in flight bags, you know, all packed up for the trip and everything, so we need to get all of our bags set up, and yeah, and then we'll start making our way for today. Cheers. Skål. This is double the size, double the amount I normally take with me hiking, but obviously we're pack rafting as well. We're out for 2 weeks, so half of this is pretty much food. We've got fishing gear, got my camera gear, so it's a heavy old thing to carry, but we've got about 5K to walk today, I think, so not too bad. And then obviously when we're pack rafting, it's all spread out in the tubes of the MRS Microraft. But yeah, that's a big old bag. Right, well there we are, all set up. It looks absolutely huge, doesn't it? I haven't heard that been said to me for a while. But yeah, life for 2 weeks on my back. Right, let's let the adventure begin. Hey, hey. Here we go, first bit of water, and it looks beautiful. She's there. Well, it's good to be out on the water anyway. Glad to get that pack off my back. Good to be back out in Sweden as well. This is 3 years in the making, this trip. Due to COVID, been put on hold for 3 years. So glad to be back out and doing this. So it's now 10 to 6. I don't honestly know how far we've got to paddle to the first campsite. Got a bit of a headwind. But if we cut in between the trees, we should be okay. Yeah.
Are there trout in these bigger lakes, you know?
I think there are some.
Yeah, well, we'll probably see tonight, won't we?
Yeah.
When the wind drops, if there's anything rising.
Absolutely beautiful, just in a osprey flow over. Alright. So get camp all set up, get some food on the go, and then a bit of a swim, I think. So after 3 years of putting this off and off and off because of COVID, it's all worth it. Definitely worth it just to be here, butt naked in this lake. Absolutely beautiful. Right, get dry, get some food on the go. I'm starving, haven't eaten anything all day. I think it's going to be an early one tonight. I really do. Because I'm absolutely knackered, so I'm going to get the fire on, I think, get some food on the go, and early to bed, and then early up, I think, because I need to break out the fresh fishing rods as well, and try and catch something. You know, this place is absolutely beautiful, absolutely amazing. It's literally right on our doorstep, really, if you think of it. For the sake of, what, half a day travelling for me today, look where we are. Chicken and lime today. I haven't had this one before. Lovely. Alright, leave that 8 minutes. Right. All done. Lovely old job that was. Can of Brewdog IPA, Punk IPA, and then it's going to be bed, I think.
Cheers, mate.
Yaki da.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah. Morning. So, didn't sleep too bad last night. Woke up a couple of times with the loons singing as they were passing by. But look at this out here now. It's absolute mill pond. Absolute mill pond. A few midges about at the minute. So, plan today is fishing rods out, breakfast, coffee, and a paddle somewhere. Really, there's no plan with what we're getting up to today. We're just out 2 weeks just to enjoy ourselves out here. There's no set plan of how quick or whatever we need to do. It's all about just taking the outdoors in this next couple of weeks. I've done trips like this before where it's just like head down, feet forward, and you don't really get to enjoy yourself. But this trip is all about just taking our time and just enjoying what we're doing. So looking at the map, there's another campsite a little bit further down past the road bridge, and then there's another one past that as well. So we'll probably end up camping on this lake again tonight. But I like the idea of getting the rods out, to be honest, because it looks absolutely brilliant. I can't see much on the surface. Loads of insect life on the surface, but I can't see much fish flopping around. So I don't think there's any trout in here. So it'll be a case of some lures, I think, for the pike and for the perch.
Silent prayers, open sky. Together we go, wild frontier, morning light, and all that follows. In the sun, in the storm, it's all or nothing.
Right, coffee's on the go. Breakfast, I don't normally eat breakfast, but I'm going to force myself today. So we've got a couple of polar breads and some good old squeezy cheese. This is reindeer meat and squeezy cheese. This is great stuff about that is it doesn't need to be refrigerated. You buy it off the shelf. Absolutely brilliant. But let's get some of that down our neck. Right, let's see what damage we can do with a fishing rod. I've just got to put a new butt plug in my rod there, because that fell out the other week. So I'm going to set up for spinning, I think, today, maybe with a big lure as well, and we'll see how we get on today. Right, well, it's getting out warm now, which is quite nice. The bugs have all disappeared, thank God. So nothing on the fishing. Matt had a take-off one, but I had nothing, lost the lure. Hey-ho. Right, it's about that time to get all of this lot packed away now. So, as I say, there's no plan at all with what we're doing today. Predominantly going to concentrate on fishing out of the Packraft today. We can sneak into the little inlets and hit the reed beds and the lilies and stuff. So we've got obviously more access with the Packraft than what you have when you're fishing off the shore here. So yeah, so basically packing away and getting all of the kit set up for our days on the water. I just got to do a little bit of admin with the Packraft. I found out with those 2 70-litre dry bags, as you pick up the Packraft, they basically slide down the front of the Packraft, and then because I've got quite a bit of weight on the front as well, that tends to make the bow dive a little bit. So I'm just going to have a bit of paracord, I think, and just attach both of the dry bags together in the back so they don't slip down each side of the tubes. Right, let's get all this packed away and then let's get on the water. We're going to have the wind behind us today as well, which is quite nice. But looking like a beautiful day. There's a hoopoe. A hoopoe. Yeah, can you see? Top of that, the first branch on that pine.
Dead tree, yeah?
First dead tree.
Yeah.
Come up to the first branch that goes dead 90 degrees out on the left. A po polsku jest dudek.
Huh?
Dudek in Polish.
Is that what they call
Yeah.
it?
Right, so just stopping off for some lunch. I've stupidly left all my gear actually in the raft, in the cargo fly, and I can't be asked to deflate it, so it's nuts and M&Ms. It's all about just sort of learning what you need out for the day. So what I need to do is in my dry bag that's on the front is just keep my cooker and a soup or something for lunch. Well, I'll be alright. I've got plenty of reserves for the day. So we're stopping at one of the Dano huts here for lunch. It's a really nice little campsite, as you can see. And then there's another one further down the river on the other side, which hopefully will be tonight's camp. Plenty of space for tents, but it'd be better hammock camping here. But absolutely beautiful. Can't beat that, can you really? What a view. What an absolute view. Shame there's no fish yet. Well, Matt's had one. but I've had nothing. And we were hoping for fish for tea, so we better get on it. Right, time for a little mini adventure. There is a lake over yonder, a little small lake, and as we've not done too well here, we're going to take a wander up there and see how we can get on. So just got a few bits in my hands, and let's see whether we can get some tea. I could really fancy some fish and some taters for some tea today. I just had a bash down in the little bay just down there, and I've seen a load of little perch following the lure in, but nothing substantial at all. Matt had just one earlier on, but other than that, it's been very fishless today. So I don't know where we're going. I'm just going to have a look on a map, and we're going to get up to this little lake. There we are, a scat from a moose. Let's give this place a go. It looks lovely. Proper little mountain lake it looks like. Oh, missed him. Oh, well, no fish for me. Matt said 2, 3 today. So old Terry Wogan, blankety blank today so far. So we're going to head back, get some food on because we're both absolutely starving. And then the idea is to get the pack rafts out later on this evening, if I don't get caught up coming through the bush. I don't think there's enough there.
Even dead standing stuff like birch, if it's still got the bark on it, it holds the moisture in, doesn't it?
That's why you can't beat a bit of fat wood, can you? That certainly. Look at the state of my face. I am rouge, and I even put factor 30 on. Right, so we're back at camp. Just lit the fire up. Just gonna have one of these little energy drinks here, because I haven't eaten anything today because I made a mistake of not packing, or actually packing my cooker inside my raft today, which was a bit of a schoolboy error. But I think by the end of this 2 weeks I'll have everything all set up and I'll be working. This is really my sort of first big pack rafting expedition, other than a couple of day trips. So it's just getting used to what to carry, where to carry it. But I can definitely assure you I won't be carrying as much as what I'm carrying now. Definitely. Cheers. And looks like my missus has been cooking. That does actually, but it looks good. Carbs and cheese. Well, I think I might have this while I sit here. Echo. Cheers. Oh, that is heaven. A bit of dangle fishing. Right, well, I'd like to say that we've paddled miles and miles today, but we haven't. We've probably only done about 2k. But it's been a really nice day, just paddling and fishing, even though I haven't caught anything. Matty's had a few. But I'm not bothered, to be honest. I really am not bothered. It's just so nice to be out here, midsummer. It's now, what are we now, 10 o'clock? 9:30. It is now, and it is absolutely beautiful. It's been such a warm day, so just going to kick back and have some rum. So skål and good midsummer. Right, morning, day 3. I didn't wake up till about 7:30. It's now about 9:30, I think it is now. So I've got a mouth like Gandhi's flip-flop, and my head's banging like a sledgehammer. So we didn't really plan it very well, really, last night, because we've got quite a big walk to do today. So we've probably got a paddle that's going to be about 500 meters to a K over yonder, and then a 2k walk to the next lake. So yeah, not really planned very well at all, but I'm going to try and cure this headache with a swim in this.
Fresh kicks and my favorite jeans, stepping out, living loud and free, walking around like a brand new melody. Hear me when I'm singing that. Oh, 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 and it keeps getting better. It only gets better. Oh, 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 and it keeps getting better. It only gets better.
From the other lake there, yeah.
If you go over, it's a very long, it's not a long way, but it's about 5
Well, that weren't too bad. That weren't too far at all, but I'm so glad we're here because this headwind we've got now is not very nice. Now it's a case of getting out and packing everything away for land travel. So where we are now, this is like a self-ferry crossing. So on each side of the lake, you've got these little tiny rowing boats. You've got one on one side and then one on another. And I think there's 3 boats actually, the way they work it, so that you cross, but you always have to make sure there's a boat on each side of the lake, so that you don't want to get here to want to use the ferry and there's no boat here. So we're going to get out, get ourselves all set up for a bit of land-based travel with a hangover. You all right?
Yeah, that's the one.
Right, and so we start. It feels heavier than what it was. That fellow that we met on the water said this was all downhill. Doesn't look like it to me. Beautiful day though. Bit too warm to be doing this. You know, you always want nice days like this instead of pissing down rain. But when you're carrying this amount of weight for 5k, you don't want it too warm. So it'll be a case of eat on the go, I think. A bag of jerky. Oh, this is lovely, look at this. Right, so it just takes 5 minutes. We're not too far away now, I don't think anyway. It's nice to be sat here in this breeze. Deep in this bit of this forest. It's absolutely gorgeous. The blueberries are not too far away. So there's some in flower there, and I did see some with some berries on somewhere. But the whole forest is just littered. Millions upon millions of them. You can just see the lake through the trees. Not used to the terrain. Coming from Suffolk, the land of flat, the tallest thing we've got is the stairs in Wetherspoons. But not far to go. I seem to have got used to it now. What I could do with, I reckon if I dropped, yeah, to 10 kilos would definitely have to come off this to make this feel comfortable. But how to do it, answers on a postcard please. That looks lovely. Right, need to do a bit of off-piste now, which I'm not looking forward to with this. On my back as the path leads north, and we just spotted a lovely little campsite. Yeah, Matt seems to have found a way, but it's just going to be yeah, that's what I was thinking. Just got to take your time due to ankle breakers. Right, we are on the lake shore. So, bit of a change of plan. It's 3:20 now, and we're both absolutely knackered. So, Matt's just discovered this little fireplace on the side of this lake. So, we're going to stop here for the night. The great thing is, there's no plan, there's no rush, so we can do what the hell we like. Apart from catch fish, unfortunately. Right, so tent's all set up. I've had to use my, there's tons and tons of mozzies here, tons. I've had to use my paddles as the main poles, so I couldn't get the continuous ridgeline between two trees there. But absolute cracking view, absolute brilliant. But I'm going to have a little nanny nap, so I shall catch you later. Right then, so just had my nanny nap. I say nap, it's probably about a couple of hours. It's now about 6:30. Bit of a wind, as you can hear, just coming across the lake here. So we've got it on shore. It's an absolute beautiful lake where we are. I don't know whether you can make it out, but there's an island just in the middle. I think that's probably going to want some exploring at some stage tomorrow. But yeah, so bit of a gruesome walk in. So that was about a 6k trek that we had from what the put out on the other lake there, and coming down that mountain down the bit there, that was a bit silly with all of that weight really on the back, but there was no other way to get down to the lake so we could get this camp spot. Right then, so we're going to get the fishing rods out, and hopefully I'm going to put a fish on the bank today, but you know how my luck is. But hopefully, if not, Matt will catch one, hopefully, that's big enough to eat, and we can cook that up. But I am pretty hungry, and I do fancy some fish, fried food, some carb. So the rod I'm using today is a Rigged and Ready X5 Adventure, and it is a perfect choice for something like this because it packs up to something as tiny as this, and that is obviously a fixed ball reel and a fly fishing reel as well. So there's 4 different tips to this rod, so it's perfect for something like this where you're thinking you might be doing some fly fishing, some lure fishing, some bait fishing. I'll stick a video to a review video that up the top there as well, and also I'll just stick a link to a video I produced a couple of weeks ago showing all the gear that I'm using on this trip, as in fishing gear. So I'll stick that up the top there for you now to have a look at. So I'm going to start off with drop shot, I think, today, and we'll see how that goes, and then if not, we'll head over to a bigger spinner or something. Lovely. Well, lovely old job. Fish for tea. Matty's just hooked a nice sort of 2-3 pound pike on a little salmo lure. So I think enough of the pansy drop shot fishing. I'm not going to have a bash with one of those. I can't blank today, can I, as well as yesterday. He's nailing it with a fish compared to me. So yeah, pike goujons for tea later on. Right, I'm going to swap some gear over and have a go with a lure, I think. Oh!
Is that you?
Yeah, he went for it straight away. Missed it though. Yeah, I got it. I got it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm in. Lovely old job. Bigger than what I thought, actually. Yeah, it's a little jack. They like those little lures, well, don't they?
They do, don't they?
A bit of a tail walk. Come on. Well, he's away. Anyway, we got one, that's the main thing. Only a little jack, but it's a fish. Glad at least we've got a fish in the net. Brilliant. Right, so while Matt's finishing off skinning that fish, he's done a tremendous job with that as well. I'm going to make up some mix so we can make some fish goujons. So first of all, I've got a bag here of dried egg. I use it fairly often, should I say, in stuff like this. It just saves obviously carrying bloody eggs on some trip like this, but a couple of spoons of this and about 50 ml of water will make up the equivalent of 2 eggs. So we'll just make some of that up, and then we'll get some breadcrumb ready as well. We've also got copious amounts of salt, because sweetwater fish or freshwater fish, it's always best, I think, to sort of double salt the fish. So put as double the amount of salt on the fish as what you would do with a sea fish. And then we've got a bag of good old faithful Old Bay spice. We're going to make up the breadcrumb mix now. So I've got one of these little Light My Fire meal kits. These are absolutely fantastic, these are. So you can use the lid as a plate there, and then you've got 2 little tubs inside. Obviously that's the one that we've got the egg in that we've just done. and then you've got this longer tub, and then you've also got a chopping board and a strainer inside of it, and then of course you've got a bowl as well. So we're going to use this little tub here to make up our batter mix. So what we're going to do, we've got some flour, just some plain flour. So we're going to put a bit of that inside, probably about a third, and then we've got some breadcrumbs. Then we've got some salt, so we'll just put a little bit of salt inside of it. Good old-fashioned Old Bay spice. A bit too much, never mind. And then we'll just stick the lid on, give it a shake. And then we'll just salt that fish. Right, so we're all good. So just in the bowl portion of that little eating pack there, we'll stick in the breadcrumbs, and then the egg goes in this one here. Hasn't come out too bad actually, that. Let's get these done. Right, there we go. I'll bloody go wash my hands now. All done. Smells really good. Oh, that was a bit.
Smells edible.
Right done. There we are.
Thank you very much, mate.
Right, well there we are. Fantastic wilderness feast this evening. So some potatoes, which are really good. And let's try the fish. That is divine.
So good.
That is so good. You couldn't if you put that in front of someone,
Yeah.
they wouldn't tell that was a sweetwater fish.
No.
Right, well, all fed, absolutely gorgeous. So underrated sweetwater fishes. I really do recommend it. And before any of you lot say in the UK, you can actually legally take fish from the rivers in the UK. If you go onto the DEFRA website, you can see what your catch limits are. It's just that we're not used to eating sweetwater fish in the UK. Right, I'm going to get all my clothes off, go and have a wash because I absolutely stink. And then it's going to be time to hit the hay. It's about 9:30 now, and it's time for some sleep, I think. So we'll catch you in the morning. Right, morning. Time for some coffee and contemplation. Seems a shame to leave this campsite, especially after we had a couple of fish yesterday. So I didn't sleep too bad, really. I actually ended up using my eye mask yesterday because it didn't get dark really at all last night. Just dimmed a little bit through the night. So plan today is a bit of coffee, bit of breakfast, pack up, and we're heading north today. So we'll just take a look at the map, shall we? So we're going to be starting, this is where we're camping today, and we're going to be heading straight up this lake. We've got a little portage up the top there, only a tiny little portage into another lake, which has now been called the Island Lake because there's hundreds of islands, as you can see, inside of here. So we fancy just a little look around here, and then further down there's another tiny little portage, and then we go to one of the Dano huts, or we've got the choice of having a bit of an island camp there if we want to. So that's the plan today. But like I said before, we're not on any time scale or anything, and things can change, and we'll just adapt to what we want to do, really. That's the main thing. If we find somewhere nice, we'll stop there. It just depends on what we want to do, really. But the weather's held out all right for us so far. We had a little bit of drizzle yesterday, but nothing massive, and that was quite sort of welcomed, really, after that slog in that sun yesterday through the trees and through the hills with all that weight. But yeah, really nice to have that fish done yesterday. Really enjoyed that. That was absolutely beautiful, that was. I guarantee if you were to stick that in front of someone and tell them it was a sea fish, they would know no different at all. And it's all about the salting, I think. As long as you double salt freshwater fish, it's a really, really nice fish as well. Right then, I'm going to get this down my neck, and breakfast-wise, I'm going to share one of those. And I say share because I can't eat one of those in the mornings anyway. And plus these real filled meals, these are massive portions as well. I mean, this is what, 420 grams, 700 kilocalories in that. So yeah, I'm going to share one of those this morning, because I think it's probably best to try and get some food down my neck, even though I really am not a breakfast person. I think today it's going to be needed.
My favorite place to be is right here, not thinking about what brings me down, yeah. My favorite way to be without fear is in the now. I'm learning how. Fast life, no thanks, no I'm doing just fine. One foot in another, floating, enjoying my freedom, singing off key, yeah. I like it better when I'm under the sun. Ooh, 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 ooh. I'm under the sun. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Right, pretty much all packed up. Just got to stick my bags inside the Packraft, inflate that, and then get that into the water. Not going to be easy getting it into the water. It's going to be a bit of a wet foot situation, getting the Packrafts in and getting into them. Just going to stick my panel on the back of the Packraft for today as well. And pretty much with that sat on the back of the Packraft, I'm charging a battery, a 20,000 milliamp battery in the day. So that's worked out absolute brilliant, that has. And then yeah, weather's not looking too bad. The clouds are breaking up, and there's a tiny bit of wind, and it's with us as well. And sooner or later we'll be on the water heading north along the lake. One thing I like about these MRS Packrafts is the inflation bag is absolutely huge. So if you get a good lift with it, it takes about 3 full bags to get the whole raft inflated. That's a damn sight easier than walking. Well, first cast of the day, and there's a perch there. Not massive. Come here. He's not bad actually. Yeah, on. go, lovely little perch. Well, that little fella smashed the lure from Matt, that did. Beautiful, beautiful little jack. I love the way that they're so brown along the top there. Beautiful. Let's get him in the water. Alright, that'll do for here. So we're just at the bottom of the lake here. We've got a short portage, I think, to another lake. So we're just not going to completely dekit. We're just going to carry the boats, I think. It's a beautiful little house just sat on the corner there. Looks absolutely gorgeous. That'd do me. Alright, so just had a bit of a scout of the portage that we've got to do. So it's not too far really, we've just got to come out of that lake, up this road a little bit, and that leads through to the other lake. So we're going to do this in 2 bits really. So we'll take our main bags, fishing rods and all of the other crap first, and then we'll come one by one with the boats, instead of completely deflating, because it's only a short portage.
Oh my dear, I wish to lead a country life. Hard work, low wages.
So we're coming out.
These days, they lie ahead of us, just out of reach. We're making changes. Out of the book, you turn the pages. Take what we want, take what we need. This little home, this dog we feed, this land of us, it's all we need. Give me warmth and shelter, heart as welter.
Did you get that?
Yeah.
That's your first.
Yes. Fish on. Lovely old job. Come in. Not a massive fish. He's off though. What we got? Tail. Right, well, we ain't done too bad today. Cracking little pike. Just swapped over to the smaller lure, and that's what we got. Right, let's get him back. And away. Not done too bad here at all. I'm just going to have a little cast along the side here. Well, fish in this lake anyway. That was funny, that one jumping over Matt's boat. That was absolutely brilliant, that was. So we're just coming to the end of the lake now, and we've got a short portage. It's not going to be a full pack down, I think. It's probably about 300-400 meters. There is a stream running out of this lake into the other lake, so whether that's paddleable, I don't know. But there's only one way to find out. Very shallow section of stream here, and a lot of logs down inside of it. Just about get through. Because I wouldn't want to walk through this because it is silty silt face. This is. And the added advantage of Matt's boat is it hasn't got a skeg on it, where this has. But we are getting through. Right, and here we are. Another portage. Right, so according to the map, we've got, I would say, about 50-60 meters to a road.
Yeah.
And then we'll follow along a road onto the next lake. And that's probably about 300-400 meters maximum, I would say.
We've got about half a K altogether.
About half a K. 500 meters. Is it worth packing down or not? It's a lot of hassle, isn't it? I think it would probably be easy just shuttling what we done before, I think. It's only 500 meters, we've probably done half of that with one boat. We're sort of leapfrogging them at the moment, so I'm just going back to get Matt. And we've got to come uphill with these, and that's an absolute bloomin' killer. And it is roasting, absolutely roasting, but just look at the view down this little dirt path. Right, so we made it. Not too bad. Bit hard going up the hills, but we just got to go back and pick up Matt's Packraft now, and look at finding a way, I think probably down yonder, to get into the water. But this looks stunning. That is a nice fish. Nice. It was all a bit fishy. What we got here? Can't see. Oh, that's a jack, I think. Oh, it's not a bad size fish actually. That's not a bad fish. I think we might actually. Huh? No, it's a jack. But not a bad one. Oh, I'm in a bit of a kerfuffle here because the hook's in the net and he isn't. Oh. Right, there we go. Let's get the hook out. some life in him. Lovely old fish. Cracking fish. He smashed it. Bit of tail walking as well. We'll get him straight back in. Beautiful fish. Go on, away you go. There we are, there's one. What we got? Little Portugal. Lovely old little fish, aren't they? Absolutely beautiful. And away. Yeah. Let's go have a brew. Lovely, thank you. Smashing. Well, nice to get out of the rafts and have a bit of a break, bit of a brew. So we found a fish hole. Loads and loads of little perch and pike. I think we'll spend a bit of time here, doing a bit of fishing, just letting the wind just blow us down the gully there, and just pushing the lures through all of the lilies. Good bit of sport. This is definitely the nicest lake I think we found. Right, so coffee all done. Time to get back in the rafts. We're going to fish all of this section just behind us here. That's where we've been fishing. And then we haven't even touched that section further down there. But there is absolutely tons and tons of fish here. So our camp is right down the other side of this lake here. We've got another little portage over into another lake, which is only a small lake, and there's another Dano hut over there, so that's going to be our plan for today. It is now, it's about 2:15, so we've got plenty of time to do a bit more fishing just down here, and I might even treat myself to a fresh pair of pants tonight. Another little pike. See if we can get him to tail walk. Alright, let's get this one in. Only a little one. Alright. Come to me. Well, another little teeny tiny. Beautiful fish though. And away. We got here. Nice little perch. Oh, that's a beaut, that is. We keep still. Look at him. He's a cracker, he is. Beautiful. Right, that'll do for the fishing. We've had a good session. Loads and loads of fish. So we're just going to make our way over to Portage Point into the next lake, which is a smaller lake, and then we need to jump into another lake, and there's no portage there, so we're going to find our own way into the other lake. It's only short to get to the Dano hut for this evening. Well, it's been a beautiful day, absolutely lovely. I just love big skies, and the clouds look quite gloomy in bits, but it just makes an absolute fantastic picture. Absolutely beautiful. And and for the sake of it, it doesn't cost that much really to get out here. I mean, for me, a return flight with 20 kilos baggage was about 200 quid, I think it was. And Matt's picked me up from the airport, which is quite nice, but then, it's only another 100 quid to hire a car from Oslo, and then a 2-hour drive from Oslo to get here. But it's absolutely fantastic, there's nothing to say. You couldn't do a short one of these on a weekend, Well, so a nice easy portage from one lake to the other, probably about 30 metres we've got. And then we're in this little tiny lake just here, and this is where our Dano hut is for this evening. Lovely. Right, so there we are, the boudoir for ce soir. There's a little bit of wood underneath there as well, and then there'll be there's a hut I can just see just up the back there as well. And then over yonder is the drop box as well, but there's plenty of space for tents. And looking good. Look at the view out here. Tent all set up, so I'll take you through my setup that I'm using on this trip here. So the tent we've got is the Backwoods Bungalow by One Tigress. It's absolutely brilliant for this sort of thing, I must say, because you can string it between trees, you can use your paddles, it sticks on the side there, and it's just a really versatile tent. The only problem is it's one skin, so it will condensate, but it hasn't condensated this week at all. Sleeping wise, so I've got a lightweight summer bag here by Fjern, and that is just about enough. any colder than this, and I would definitely feel it while I was sleeping. Sleeping mat wise, we've got the Neo Air by Thermarest, and that's working out really, really well, that is. Right, so camp was all set up, tents up, done a bit of admin, give my clothes a bit of a wash because the t-shirt was starting to stink a bit. Had a nanny nap, now I'm going to have something to eat, so I'm going to have salmon and pasta, and I've got a bag of reindeer jerky as well. So other than that, a little bit of fishing off the bank later on. I'm going to build a fire in the Dano hut behind us here a little bit later on as well, but it's been a cracking day, really enjoyed it. It's been, 3 lakes today, plenty of fish. And it's not been too bad. That portage up that hill was a bit of a slog, but wasn't too bad. So anyway, I'm going to get some water on the boil and get some food because I'm absolutely starving. What whiskey's this one then?
This is in contemplation. Cheers.
Cheers.
It's not peaty one. It's bourbon barrel, so it's.
I'm not really a whiskey person, but mind you, it tasted alright the other night after half a bottle of rum.
I think you'll like that one.
I just remember how I felt the other morning after drinking it. That's what's putting me off. Right, so that will do us for tonight. I'm absolutely covered in mozzies, absolutely, but they're not as bad as what I thought they were going to be. So yeah, absolute cracking day today. I hope you've enjoyed the video for it. It's been absolutely brilliant. Really enjoyed myself today. Plenty of fish, and then this cracking campsite here overlooking this absolute stunning lake. It's absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to hit the hay. Pretty knackered after today, really. Tomorrow morning we're going to be getting up and we're going to be doing some land travel tomorrow. So we'll be packing all the pack rafts away, and we're going to be starting to make our way up to this what looks like an absolute beautiful lake just outside of the Glaskogen National Park. So I think we'll be wild camping somewhere there tomorrow. Alright, morning, welcome to day 6. I think these midgie bites are playing me up a bit, but it's a beautiful morning, nice and calm. The wind's died down a lot now. Right in front of us here there's loads and loads of patch of grass and lilies and stuff. It is quite shallow, I think, because as I tried to wash last night I ended up sitting in 4 foot of silt, but can't resist pulling the rod out first thing in the morning before the wind gets up and seeing what's in there. Maybe with just a surface lure just through the lilies just to see what's going on there. So like I say, plan today, back to the van for a bit of a restock, out onto Övre Glor, and we're going to find another Dano hut on the west side of that, and then stop there tonight, and then we're hopefully over to a trout lake tomorrow. So get some coffee on the go, get some breakfast, and off we go. then, so gear all packed up. I've just left the panel charging down there as we've got a good bit of sunlight, and there is a good bit of power going into that, so just trying to recharge the drone and another battery. Just got the pack rafts to put up and inflate, stick the gear on, and then it'll be time to head off. It's always a good plan on weather like this, and pretty much any time that you inflate your pack raft, is once you've inflated it, to stick it in the water, because what's going to happen is as the boat gets in the cold water, the pressure is going to decrease inside of your boat, and you're going to need to just temper your boat. So just let it just relax in the water there for a couple of minutes, and then just re-inflate again, because if not, you're going to be getting into something similar to like a soggy sausage or something. I really need a spray deck on a day like today, do we? Right. Okay, let's go, we go now. Right then, all packed up, so we're leaving this section of lakes. We are pretty much downhill, if I remember, all the way, apart from this little bit here. So we're walking back to the tourist centre now, and do a bit of gear swap out at the van, maybe some more groceries, and look at getting this ticket for these trout lakes. This road feels longer than what it was when we first walked up it, I can tell you that. But we're not too far away. It is absolutely blistering today, absolutely. But not too far. And then a can of Coke, I think. Whew, well, back to the van, back to the centre. So, can of Coke and a bag of chips, I think, and recharge some of our electric gear. That is heaven. Right, so we've just been in, brought a few more bits, some mosquito repellent, the one that actually works for me, and I spoke to a chap there about the fishing there, so he's explained a couple of bits that we haven't got to pay to go to those other lakes. It's, that permit doesn't exist anymore, but there's still trout and stuff inside of there, and he's also explained some of the really good bits of fishing on over a glaw as well, and one of the really good spots, he said, is pretty much where we're hoping to camp tonight. So yeah, sounds good for some fishing, but we shall see. You know what my fishing is like. So we're just going to sort out some gear, make our way back up to the car park where we started off, and get ourselves all sorted out, and then get back on the water and start making our way to tonight's camp. Right, a bit of failed communication there. Matt's waiting for me to get back in the van so we can drive over to where we're going to go, and I'm waiting for him to get out and get his kit. But in true Welsh style, he's driving 15 metres. Right, it is absolutely roasting today. It's probably about 28 degrees, I would say. It is absolutely roasting. So it's going to be a warm paddle today, but we've got about 5-6 k along over a glaw to tonight's camp, so it should be all right. Really looking forward to it. I can't wait to get this off my back though. And here's the put-in for over a glaw. Magic. Thank you very much, Lee. I'm just going to hang by those lilies over there for you. Right then, we're on our way. Matt's in the water. Finally. He was being a bit English about his setup there today. Faffing. Hashtag faff. Taff the faff. So this looks beautiful. The water is absolutely pristine, and I've seen a couple of pike swimming around. Matt's seen a trout. This is a massive lake, absolutely massive lake. And this isn't the biggest lake in Glaskogen neither. So we're now on the main part of over the glaw. Hey, hey. You'd expect it out here to be really, really deep, wouldn't you? But it's probably about not even a metre where we are. So there's like a rock bank all the way along here. Massive, massive lake. So we're just going to cross at the narrowest point here, or one of the narrowest points, and then make our way up the other bank. We've been told of some good fishing spots on the other side there. But what a cracking place. Oh, it has. It's beautiful though, isn't it? It's nice to be out on. I mean, this is just amazing lake. It really is. It's so captured me when I first come here, you know, just to see this wide expanse.
Imagine this in the winter. Frozen.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. Yeah. Right, so we just had a little check on the map. We worked out where we're going to go to. There's a lot of people on the lake, so if there's someone there, it better be a female Swedish volleyball team.
Pass me the fish, you're up.
Yeah, I'll just come in this way a bit. Hey. One fishing rod. One small bag. Water. Legs are done actually.
What you saying?
Right, so we've found a spot on this little peninsula. It's busy. I think there's about three camps on here already, so it just shows you it is Midsummer weekend anyway. So it is a bit of wind coming across here, but we're going to set up here because wherever we go there's going to be people tonight, I think. So But there's an absolute awesome little swimming spot just down there. So right, gonna get kitted up and we'll catch you in a bit. Right, well that's the camp all set up. We're on a little bit of a peninsula here and they've got the wind blowing in from the back there. It is really quite windy in stages, but I have caught the sun today. It's been about 28 degrees today. Thank God we weren't hoofing that gear through the bloody forests and through the trails today. So yeah, so right, time to wash up and swim because I absolutely stink, and then get some food on the go. We managed to pick up some snarlers and some bacon from the shop back at the tourist centre when we were there, just sorting out the gear before we came on to Överglo. But this is an absolute awesome lake, absolutely beautiful. It's just huge, but it's still not the biggest lake here in Glaskogen. It's the second. It's just absolutely beautiful. This is needed after today. What a cracking place. Right, so all set up. Beautiful evening sat here. So I say this weekend is the evening where the Swedes are celebrating Midsummer. So you've got people out all over the place. We've just been invited for fika with the other family that's sharing this peninsula with us. So we just sat down and had some cake and coffee with those. Right, time to get some food on the go now because we are absolutely starving. We're not going to be celebrating Midsummer like we did last weekend, I can guarantee you that. But we've got a couple of beers anyway, just to sit and enjoy the evening and maybe a bit of a fish. I can't sit there, it's too bloody hot. I can't believe this weather. This is not normal for a midsummer weekend. Normally a midsummer weekend here in Scandinavia is blooming rain. But it's been absolutely roasting today. I think I'll go fish on the other side of the peninsula in the shade. Well then guys, that will pretty much do for tonight now. We're just sitting here having a couple of beers. We're fed, we're watered, we're washed. We're just sitting here listening to those noisy old sea rats in this little tiny bay next to this peninsula we're in now. So yeah, all done. It's been a cracking day today. It's been so warm. I'm glad we were paddling most of it and out on this massive lake where there was loads of wind, so to keep us a little bit cooler. Haven't burnt myself today, which is pretty good. So gonna hit the hay and then we shall see you in the morning. We're walking about 2k up to a little tarn higher up where hopefully we're going to be catching some fish, some trout especially. That's the main thing we're going up there for. So we'll see you in the morning.
My favorite way to be without fear is in the now. I'm learning how. Floating, enjoying my freedom, singing off key. I like it better when I'm under the sun. Ooh, 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 ooh. I'm under the sun. So tell me what I need to know. Where to go with the flow. Open sky, never on my own. another. Floating, enjoying my freedom, singing off key. Yeah. I like it better when I'm under the sun. Ooh, 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 ooh. I'm under the sun. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Right, morning. Absolute cracking morning, all fed and watered. We had an absolute fantastic evening last night, couple of beers and then just hit the hay. It was so warm last night I didn't even use my sleeping bag, and then woke up about midnight and just looked over yonder and it was just like beautiful sort of reds and orange, and it was absolutely gorgeous evening. And then woke about 4:30 this morning to the sound of those blooming sea rats behind us all fighting and squawking there. So we're all fed, we're just all packing up now. It looks, there's not a cloud in the sky at all today, so it looks like it's probably going to be a very, very hot one again. So it's now about 10 to 8. We're just packing up and we're going to make our way up the hill there. We've got probably about 2k walk, so not too far, and we're just hoping to get up there before this heat comes down again today. So we've got a couple of lakes we're going to try where there is apparently some trout inside. So we'll get all packed away and start making our way up there.
See you later. Yes. Might see you up there. Yes.
Precis, tack för det ficka. Hej då!
Oh my dear, I wish to lead a country life. Hard work, low wages. These days, they lie ahead of us, just out of reach. We're making changes.
Right, and so the uphill starts. There's a note just on the side of this track here that's leading up to the hut here saying there's no firewood up there. And you're not even allowed to gather deadwood in the national park here to burn, which is a good thing, I think, really, considering you pay for your ticket to camp in the huts. They supply the firewood, keeping all of the deadwood there for all the nature and the bugs and whatnot. I'm going to stop talking now because I'm blowing out my backside. Tons of them. Absolutely tons and tons of cloudberries around here. They're probably what, 2-3 days away, I think. Maybe a week at the max. Absolutely fantastic berries. They look like raspberries, but they're bright orange and just come out at the top of a single stem. Absolutely gorgeous. More uphill, but we are at the lake. We've just got to go around the other side. We're here, and yes, I'm absolutely knackered and can't wait for a swim, but when you get to these places and you're the only people that are here, it's absolutely fantastic. Just look at this lake we've got for 2 days. Right, so here we are, we're at the Dano hut here. This is number 25 on the map, or on the lake Björktannen. So there's not many good places to pitch your tent around here, really. There is one just behind me here, but it's a bit quaggy down there. And I just thought, I'll sleep in a Dano hut tonight and just wear my bug shirt with my bug net over my face. But then I thought, actually, I'll see whether I can get my backwards bungalow pitched inside there, and I've managed to get that done. So at least that'll give me some protection from the bugs tonight. It's a beautiful lake that we're on, absolutely stunning. I don't think this hut gets used very much at all. It is a bit messy, and we're here for a couple of days, so I think we'll probably give this a bit of a clean up and just tidy up around here a bit. The lake itself looks absolutely beautiful there. You've got a good patch of lilies on the other side there, and it's really high steeped just behind us over there. But yeah, looking forward to spending a couple of days here. Well, I was just going to have a nanny nap after failing on my first cast because I lost my bloody lure. I thought I was going to give up, and then Matt's just smashed that little beast there. Absolute cracker. He's had a couple of perch as well, so we're going to stick that in the water. That's tea tonight, and that's given me a little bit of motivation to get another lure on and go for a wander, I think. Well, we got one. A lot of life in him. He's been smashed at some stage. Look, he's missing a part of his dorsal fin there. Beautiful, beautiful little perch, but not what we're after. Away. Hey, there we go. That's a better fish. Yeah, you like that one. What have we got? Can't see what we've got. They got such nice colours, these perch in this lake have. Really nice colours. There we are. Hey, getting bigger. That's the best thing. They're getting bigger. And away.
You got a big one?
I was feeling a bit deflated about the fishing before Matt caught that trout. I'd lost a couple of lures, I got caught up in a tree, I then thought, ah, sod it, I'll go and have a sleep. And then he hooked into that trout, which we're going to have for tea. I had a couple of perch on shore and I thought, sod it, I'll put the pack raft together. We'll come over the other side in the lee and see what we can do over here. Got one finally. Loads of little bites, but nothing to write home about. Tons of these tiny little perch. Beautiful fish. Let's get some bigger ones. Let's get that little trout that Matt had, shall we? Alright, Matt's on the case with the fish, so I'm going to make up the same mix. I'm not going to run through the recipe that I went through with you last time because we done it the other day when we cooked the pike, but same thing. And I'm going to get a fire on a go, cook up some fish, and then we're going to get on the water. It is clouding over quite a bit actually. But it's still bloody warm, really warm today. So let's get this fish all coated and then we'll start out on the pack rafts and hopefully with a few more. Come on. Right, let's see how this one is. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. Well caught. Very nice.
Well cooked.
And well cooked. Right, I'm going to scoff this. We'll get back out there and hopefully get another. Well, we got one for our evening effort anyway. Bloody horseflies. One tiny little perch. Well, we finally got some rain, and those clouds up there don't look too promising. It wouldn't surprise me if we get a storm. We'll give it a couple more casts because I have left some stuff out back at the hut there that I don't want to get wet, so we'll give it a couple more casts and then we'll make our way back, I think. Well, we've had a few fish, it's been alright, a couple of perch, nothing massive. We've had a few spots of rain in between, and if you look up there, that looks quite black. So I think I'm going to knock it on the head, really, just on the off chance, because the last thing I want to be is on a lake when a thunderstorm hits. And there is one forecast for tomorrow, so you never know. By the looks of that, that looks like there's some weather coming in. Morning. What an amazing view across this lake this morning. Air feels a little bit cooler after that storm last night. Had such an amazing view here last night. It's absolutely beautiful. Felt so much better after that storm, so much better, and the air's a lot cooler at the moment. It just feels 100% better, but looking at that sky, it's going to be another hot one later on, I think. Right, so it's just gone 6 AM, we're both up now. It's just a case of a bit of breakfast, a bit of a pack up, well, quite a bit of a pack up. I've got crap laying everywhere around here, and then probably a couple of hours walk down, not the way we came in. We're going to take another route, a bit more steeper, down to Överglå, and then we've got probably about a 2-hour paddle back to the tourist centre there. And then the plan is there, we're just going to kit sort, and we're going to go in the van because there's some weather forecast to come in later on tonight, some pretty heavy rain. So we've decided that we want to camp close to a Dano hut, so we're going to just drive up there, up Överglå, a little bit further up from where I first took my photo, where I first discovered Glaskogen 8-10 years ago, and camp there for the night. Obviously do a bit of a resupply as well, get some more food and whatnot. I'm craving meat, absolutely craving meat.
Don't be scared, just come a little closer. Follow me into the dark, I'll lead the way.
Right, so we're all packed away. it's been a cracking couple of days here at this lake. Some pretty good fishing, really enjoyed it. Nothing massive apart from the trout that Matt had that we cooked up the other day. Really nice to have a 0 day yesterday and do absolutely sweet FA apart from just chill out and just relax at this absolute beautiful place. And then to see that storm come in yesterday was absolutely brilliant as well. So we're all packed up now, everything's all packed away. You know, there's a really good routine now after a week. You know what needs to get packed away first and what needs to go where, and then all of a sudden you find a couple of fishing lures or something that you then got to pull everything out of your bag to stick that back in the tackle box. So but hey, it's all done now. So we've got probably, I reckon, maximum about an hour down to Overglor, and then probably we're going to think about a couple of hours before we get back to the van, because we're going to be paddling down there as well. So we shall see you on the trail. And off we go. This backpack feels a hell of a bit better compared to the first day when I could hardly lift the bloody thing. Right, time to say goodbye to this absolutely beautiful lake. Look at this for a view. That just makes carrying all of this weight and coming this far well worth it. So that's the lake we're paddling today, Overglor. It's absolutely mill pond today. It looks absolutely stunning. Really stunning. Coming down this after this rain is not the easiest. The roots are slippy as hell, plus with the weight it's not the easiest. So I believe our launch is just opposite, just where that car's parked. So not too far. Right, Overglor, away we go. Little bit of a headwind, not too bad at the moment. It is supposed to pick up, so we did want to try and get this done as early as we possibly could. But it's still so humid. And it's only 9:30. Beautiful out here, it really is. Absolutely beautiful. Listen to that. Well, I ain't gonna get back sitting there listening to the sounds, are we? Hey. nearly back now. So that's taken us, that'll be 3 hours from breaking camp to get back here, just around the corner. So this part up here on the right hand side, this is the campsite part of Glaskogen, because you're not allowed to camp with motorhomes and things in the park, so they've got a designated camper van site, caravan site, whatever you want to call it, and it's really, really nice. I'm not sure you have to pay for it, I'm guessing that you do, but it looks lovely. Well, I feel so much better after that shower, 100%. I've even changed my pants and I've changed my socks. So we're back at Glaskogen at the tourist centre now. We're just packing everything up into the van now. We're going to head out and try and find a shop. I don't think anything's going to be open because I think today is, well, I know today is a public holiday because obviously it's been Midsummer weekend. Because I really do fancy grilling some meat on a fire. I've had as much as I like my real term out meals, I could really do with a proper meal tonight. So if we can't find any meat, I think it's going to be a tin of Spam. So just parked up on the road there. So just been to the supermarket and grabbed a few bits and bobs. I'm just parked up on the road on the east side of Överglå, and we just walked down to where there's one of the Dano huts, and it's unoccupied, but it's a bit of a trek to get to it. But it's on a beautiful, beautiful spot. So we're just going back to the van just to load all the gear up, and we shall claim it on behalf of Her Majesty. Oh, I'm knackered. I am so hot. But here we are. Hut number 53 on the bank of Överglå. Really looking forward to spending the night here. So we came down off the other side over there this morning and then paddled over yonder. First thing I'm going to do is just set up a washing line, actually, because I washed all my clothes in the shower as well today. So I need to get them drying because I've got no shorts. And then I'll get the tent up. There's a nice little spot just down there. I think we'll put the tent down there, and then look at getting the Packraft into the water and doing some fishing. Well then, so there we go, all set up. We got the tent facing, it's sort of, you got the wind coming from this direction here. So looking forward to sleeping out here tonight. It is a bit blowy at the moment, but it normally does drop off come the evening. And plus there is a bit of rain forecast as well, so we've obviously got the Dano hut just over there that I can jump into if there is a storm that does decide to come in. There's absolutely no point in fishing, I would say, at the moment, because like I say, we've got a fair bit of wind. The fetch is quite big as it's hitting the shore just down here, so I think it's going to be a case of just sitting back, chilling, eating some cheese doodles, drinking a couple of beers and just contemplating the meaning of life. Oh, a lovely old job. They look awesome.
you want sriracha as well, or?
Yeah, I'll have one with some. Has this one got sriracha
I've
in
put
it?
mayo on it.
Yeah, I'll have a bit of both in that one
Yeah.
there that you're doing there, thank you. Get the old kapusta as well, lovely old job. Smashing, thank you. Cheers, thank you. Not your usual sort of combination, but I've had this before, sauerkraut in a burger with some gherkin mayonnaise, a bit of cheese, a bit of sriracha sauce. Really, really good. A good old faithful can of gnat's piss as well. Here it comes, just straight across the lake. Let's get in the Dano hut and see whether we can get a fantastic storm on film. Right, so the storm's all past now. It's beautiful out there, the lake's now flattening off, and it's just a really, really pleasant evening. Just been sat around the fire until all of the bugs come out. So that's half the reason why I'm now going to be hiding in the tent as well. But I'm going to call it a night as well. I'm absolutely knackered after today. So plan tomorrow is all really weather dependent really. There's a bit of rain forecast for the night, so I'm going to drop the fly on the backwards bungalow. So if it does come in, it's not going to get me absolutely soaked. So tomorrow, yeah, planning to head up to a couple of lakes that have got char in them. So that would be an interesting fish to catch, but it is really, really warm at the moment, so they are a cold water fish. They are, so I very much doubt we'll be able to catch any of those, but looking at some of the catch reports from last week, there has been a few that have recently been caught, so there's always a chance. So we'll see you in the morning. Right, good morning guys. We are still up on the northeast part of Övre in Glaskogen in Sweden. We've had a bit of rain last night, but you know, that's half expected after that storm that came through yesterday. So plan is today we're going to have some breakfast, have some coffee, and we're going to get up to another couple of lakes and hopefully catch a couple of Arctic char.
Sometimes the wind blows in the right direction when it's pushing you towards the sunset like a ghost. And I know that you'll learn to love the lesson, that some things you have to find out on your own.
Great thing about paying for your Glaskogen card, your camping card, is that you get use of the Dano huts and you get use of all of the firewood, and every single campsite has a really, really big pile of dried birch there, so you've got full use of all of that instead of having to collect dead wood and stuff from the forest. And in fact, collecting dead wood from the forest isn't allowed here at all. So yeah, you've got access to this wonderful, massive, great pile of birch on every single one of these Dano huts. Just as we're talking about the Dano huts, I just need to mention I made a bit of a mathematical cock-up on one of the previous videos when I said how much it actually cost us to for the card. So basically, the camping card is £6 a day, or 60 crowns roughly. And I worked it out in my stupid dyslexic head that the actual whole card with the camping card and the fishing card for two people cost 38 quid. No, I missed a zero along the way, and it actually cost about 380 quid. But still, for 2 weeks, that's not a problem, is it really, to have access to all of this, access to the fishing. And we hadn't even touched hardly any of the lakes that are on the map here at Glaskogen. You know, we've had a great couple of weeks so far. It's been absolutely brilliant. But still, there's so much more left to visit. But the lakes today that we're visiting, they're not part of the Glaskogen fishing card, so we need to pay extra for that. Right, I'm going to get a fire lit, really, using some of this birch, and get some coffee on the go. That look a bit grey over at Will's mum's over there, doesn't it? Well, it is forecast to rain. It's really forecast to horse it down a little bit later on, but it hasn't as yet. It's just sort of spitting with rain at the moment. I managed to get the tent dry and get that put away, so I haven't got to worry about that. So we're just chilling out by the Dano hut at the moment, just waiting to see what the weather does. We're going to head off to another couple of lakes later on, which isn't within the national park of Glaskogen, so to fish that you need to pay another fee for that, and that's basically all done off an app called iFisk, which is an amazing app. So you basically just look on the map, look where you want to fish, you get catch reports on there, it tells you what sort of fish, the best methods and stuff, and then you pay via the app to actually fish that water, and it's nationwide, all over Sweden. I wish we had something like that in the UK. That would be absolutely brilliant, instead of having to hunt down a tackle shop to pay for where you want to fish. So we're just going to chill here for a bit. We've got some meat and stuff we're going to eat up in a minute. I'm just come down to collect some water, have another brew, and sit and just watch the world go by, really. It's quite shallow on this point, actually, so I'm not going to spend too much time fishing here. We did come out here last night and have a couple of perch. One of them was as big as the lure that I'm using. Problem with fishing these conditions is it's so rocky, and I've managed to get the lure caught on one of the rocks here. So I've got a 60-pound braid with a 100-pound fluorocarbon leader. So all I'm going to do here is just put a bit of pressure on the rod, pull the line, and normally if you give it a flick, it will come loose, but today is not happening. There we are, and it's off. There we are, little tip. Couple of bits of bacon, gherkin mayo, couple of bits of chowder, sriracha sauce, a lid, and now time to sit, hide away from the rain and drip fat everywhere by the looks of it, and just wait for the weather to pass. But that's why these Dano huts are absolutely brilliant here, because we're sat inside here, kept right out of the weather. It is absolutely hossing it down at the moment, so we're just sitting here, just contemplating, chewing the cud, and we'll wait for this to pass before we make a decision what we're going to get up to for the next couple of days. our sauerkraut, lovely. Sriracha sauce. Well, that'll do for lunch anyway. A bit of a random concoction, but it's all good. We'll just stick the waterproof side, I think, for the walk back to the van. Going through that quagmire, it's going to be a bit wet going through there. So we're all packed up. Rain has stopped. The sun's trying to rear its head. Got to make our way back to the van now, and then we haven't got too far to drive until we get up to where we're going to walk into the next couple of lakes for the next 2 days. Well, goodbye Övre Glor. Övre in Swedish means upper, so there's 2 Glor lakes. So you've got Stora Glor, which means big Glor, and then Övre Glor, and then obviously the upper above that, Stora Glor, therefore is the bigger one of the 2, which is a massive lake compared to this one, which is in British standards massive as well. And then the biggest one in Sweden is called Vänern, which is absolutely monstrous, like an inland sea. Right then, onwards and upwards. So we just sorted out the gear, parked the van up in between 2 lakes here, Norra Ösjön and Södra Ösjön, and that is part of, well, that is 2 lakes of 4 on this fishing permit here, and we basically just got the fishing permit via iFisk app. For a week it was £10 per person, or £5 per day, so we just took it for a week. So the plan is to find a campsite between the north and the south lake, and then we'll go from there really. Right, we're just going to drop the bags here and go and take a wander, see what we can find on Södra Ösjön. Matt's found a couple of spots that could have potential on the other side of the feed stream. It's bloody humid again. Absolutely, and it's going to be so buggy. Guarantee it's going to be so bloody buggy here. At least I've got my bug shirt. Right, let's get across the stream and have a look at getting a camp set up. Well, an absolute cracking find. Nice bit of breeze coming in from the lake there. We're quite high up from the lake here, so we're probably about 15 meters up from the lake here, but you've got access to get down to the lake just down there. And a little fireplace just down there for us. I think there's enough space for me just to set up down there. There's enough space once we move that dead wood out of the way for Matt to set up. And yeah, so plan is get camp set up. I need to get some water done because I'm absolutely parched, and then look at doing some fishing. Most important things. So this is a Tyvek sheet. It's cut to the same specifications as the base of the backwoods bungalow there. And I carry this with me for two things really. Is one, if it's soaking muddy, whatever, I can lay this out to sort my gear out and everything. But it's also like a footprint for this tent as well, because the base of this tent is no different to the actual outside of the tent that's bare to the weather. So a couple of sticks or something like that is going to go through the bottom. So although it makes a bit of noise and everything, it's a really strong, durable sort of footprint, and light as well to for your tent. These bugs are annoying me already. Right then, there we go, all set up. Not the best pitch, not the worst pitch, but I've had to stick the Tyvek sheet underneath there just to protect it, because there are all the branches and whatnot underneath there. But it's going to be comfy sitting on top of all of that moss tonight. At least we've got a bit of a breeze coming through here as well, which is keeping the bugs off us a little bit. We did get infested earlier on with them. Right then, we're going to go for a little bit of explore, get these pack rafts all pumped up, and get out on the lake, take the rods out with us and just have a look to see whether we can get anything, and just have a look to see what's about so we can make a plan for fishing tomorrow. Well, Matt, he's just discovered an absolute beautiful campsite here opposite the inlet where we're stopping. So we just come out for a bit of a fish, but nothing as yet. So I think the plan is we'll stop where we've set up tonight, and then morning we'll pack down and we'll come over to this campsite over the other side there. There's a big deep old channel just coming through there. But yeah, nothing on the fish as yet. So I've tried some Z-Man lures, I've tried some spinners, I've tried, what else have I tried? Some weird thing that the French dude sent me, and a couple of other jig baits, but nothing, absolutely nothing. So I say the great thing about the iFish thing is it shows you the catch report and what they're using, and they're using spinners and jigs, so we're fishing the same sort of method, but obviously not quite how it is needed to actually put some fish on the bank. Well, not a very fruitful fishing trip, but at least we found a really nice campsite for tomorrow. So anyway, back to camp, back to Midgeville, and get some water on the boil, and I've got a real Terma meat soup tonight, and a couple of cans of Heineken. There we are. Just there. Well, cheers to another unsuccessful day's fishing. But there's something about wild camping, isn't there? And gathering all your firewood, chopping it down, cutting it all up, processing it. Well, I really didn't do any of it. I grabbed a handful of birch and Matt sorted the rest of it out, and then I struggled to light the bloody thing. But really nice to have a proper wild camp. It's been great camping at the Dano huts, you know, with everything there supplied for you, a nice shelter if the weather does come in. But this is what Sweden's all about. This is allemansrätten at its best, you know, a proper wild camping, right to roam. It's absolutely fantastic, and what a beautiful lake to be spending the evening on. Really nice to head out for a paddle earlier on. Okay, we didn't catch anything, couple of little nibbles from a couple of little perch, but we did find a really nice campsite for tomorrow night. Might pop out on the raft a little bit later on. I did hear a couple of fish on the surface just as we were coming back, but I don't know, it depends on how many we get through. Right, so just waiting for the water to boil, and I'm going to have one of these meat suits by Real Termat today. I'm not feeling massively hungry. Had quite a bit today for me, really. A load of bacon and bread and stuff, and then we had those steaks for lunch. So a soup will do me just fine. Right, so let's get this soup down. We've had 8 minutes. And they're really good. The great thing about the soups is that if you want to just have a quick stop during your day or something warm, they don't take massive amount of time to digest, so you can pretty much smash one of these and head off doing whatever you're doing. And also they're full and tasty as well. Morning. Oh, it's Buggy McBugville out here. The plan today, I'm gonna have some coffee. I might get out on the Packraft with a fly in a little bit, but then we're moving over yonder just to where the sun is on those trees over there today for today's camp, so looking forward to that. How difficult it is to cast this travel rod as a fly rod. Just let that sink a while. I've got a floating line on here. Fish! Yes! No, he's gone. He's gone, it's only a little one. Oh, at least we're getting him on the fly. Right, so there we go, all set up. So we've got the backwards bungalow set up just on top of this this bluff just here, overlooking the lake. Absolutely beautiful view there. A nice little fire pit for later on. Mat set up just down there. I'll just take you through the actual setup inside of the tent. So pretty impressed with the setup actually. I was a bit wary about this backwards bungalow, whether it would actually suit, but it's been absolutely perfect for a trip like this. You can ping it between two trees, use some sticks, use your paddles. It's been a really, really nice tent to use, and I will hopefully get to use it for a bit longer as well. One thing that I have done with this tent is I've actually cut a piece of Tyvek sheet that fits underneath it as a bit of a footprint, so that works quite well. So what I'm using is I've got my Fjörn lightweight summer sleeping bag there, my Thermarest Neo Air there, I've got a cheap $5.99 Amazon pillow, and then my down jacket from Fionn sort of folds up inside of its own pocket there, and that's used as another pillow. So all in all, it's a very, very spacious tent, as you can see, for one person. You've got loads and loads of room in there. You could easily fit 2 people in there as well. And then the bag that I'm using, that can just stay in that massive great dry bag, and that stays outside the tent. Can go in if it needs to, but with this dry bag there's no need to. And then we've got a solar panel here as well. So this is a 20-watt panel, this one here. At present, sitting in the sun, it's now taking 1.2 volts, this is, so it's just charging my 20,000 milliamp battery that I use for my GoPro, for my phone and all my other bits and bobs. Brilliant bit of kit. Can clip it onto the back of the Packraft, clip it onto a rucksack, or just lay it out like this. Really, really worth taking something like this if you've got some power needs when you're out and about. Well, I don't think that's too bad at all, really. Considering it's been a while since I've done anything, and plus I'm cack-handed and Matt's got a right-handed crook knife, so I don't think I've done too bad. But I'll leave that for tomorrow, finish that one off. That can be the wife's present. Right, just going to set up the fly rods, I think, and think about getting on the water and see whether we can do anything out here today. I would love to be able to catch a char out of here. That would be an absolute dream. It's one of those fish, you know, from back in the day when you were a kid and you're looking through the old ladybird books of coarse fishing and the pictures of the Arctic char on there. It's one of those fish that I've always wanted to catch, and they are in here. It would be so nice to have one. Right, so let's have something to eat. I'm running a bit low on food. I've got one main meal left and this light meal as well. This is a fruit muesli, this one is. It's 700 kilocalories this is, and I can't eat a whole one of these, so I'm going to have half of this and I'll save my meal for tomorrow, and this one for breakfast as well. So we'll heat up some water, and I'm just going to push half of this into my bowl and then just top that up with water, and I think I might even push the boat out and put some chocolate into it as well. Yay! Well, not the most appealing evening meal. I mean, I've got food back at the van there, but that means paddling across the lake and then walking a K back to it. So I've got enough reserve anyway. And hopefully there'll be a char on the menu with some bannock later on. Well, we're not doing too well. I had all the hopes and dreams, I did, tonight. Not even a take. There's a few on the surface, but nothing to write home about anyway. That'll do. No go again tonight. So the fish that we were seeing rise, Matt had one of them, and they were perch, believe it or not. Yeah, I've never seen them schooling and feeding off the surface. I thought they were a rum and salmonoid of something, trout or char, but no, they were bloody perch. Matt had one on the lure. Not even a knock on the fly, but hey ho, I think it's time to go back and build a fire, I think. So look at this piece of dead standing that we've cut down for firewood here. Just look at the rings. If you were to count those, there's probably 50, 60 rings, so it's about 60 years old. Something so small as this, it just shows you the conditions that they have to endure. Well, another fishless day today. Never mind, there's always tomorrow. Right, time to get up. A bit cool last night, I was actually. Yeah, a bit cool. But looks lovely outside. It is another beautiful day. I can't believe it. And you know, I've probably said this every single morning. We did plan to have a Dorney this morning and have a go, but that didn't happen because we all slept really, really well. So we're gonna head further down this lake today, and there's another smaller lake on there that I've seen on the older interweb that's marked with trout and char over there, so we're going to bash that one as well today. But it's frustrating, you know, when you know that childhood dream fish is in this lake and you can't pull them out. It's just really, really frustrating. And you look how beautiful this place is and you think, oh, it looks fishy as hell, but it ain't happening. It really, really isn't happening. Right, without further ado, I'm going to get my jacket on, get in the Packraft, and we're going to start paddling down the end of the lake. Right, so we're just at our takeout now, just by these boats here. There's a short walk across to the next lake there. I packed pretty light this morning, so I can just pick up the boat and carry it across to the next lake. Right, here we be, another lake, Vastravanet. See how we get on here. There's nothing on the rise at all. So I think we'll turn this rod into a lure rod, I think. And have a go with the lures. I'm literally just letting the breeze just push me across the lake, and I'm just bouncing this Z-Man's lure on those little silicone things about a metre up and down off the bottom, similar to how they ice fish. And I know that in that situation it catches fish here, but there's just nothing happening at all, nothing. So they have to be down deep. So this is the only thing I can think of. I think it's time to admit defeat. Nothing at all. I'll head back onto the other lake. I might have a little bit of a pop on the other lake as we go back to camp, but there's absolutely nothing. Oh, well, back to camp, really. It's been interesting just to go over and see the other lake, but it would be better to have some fish. We were just discussing, you know, we haven't seen any locals fishing in any of these lakes, so whether it's just wrong time of the year, light, temperature, whether it's just us being crap, but the fishing is not that great in this last couple of lakes. The best fishing we had was in the lake with all the islands. That was brilliant. That was one fish after the other. But then again, you know, at the end of the day, look where we are. You know, you can't complain really, can you? So that's what they're jigging with in the winter. Well, a big fat blankety blank so far this morning. A couple of takes off a couple of perch, but that's about it really. Right, it's about 10 o'clock. I think it's time for a little nanny nap. Well, it's only a tiddler. Hey, but we're not blanking today. Oh dear, dear, dear. At least we got one. Not really worth catching, but hey ho. The only thing that seems to be working is these little meps. It's almost deafening, isn't it? The sound of silence. Right, I'm going to call it a day today. Going to hit the hay. I'm absolutely knackered after doing absolutely nothing today. So tomorrow we're going to pack up early tomorrow, and we're going to paddle back, and then we're going to have to walk back to the van, and then we're going to go back to Glaskogen tomorrow, where we're going to pick up Matt's canoe, have a shower. He's going to do some washing and stuff, because after he drops me off at the airport on Sunday, he's driving up to Lofoten, lucky bastard, for a little while. So we'll get all of that done, and then tomorrow night's camp should be in somewhere in Norway. Boranda. All good. Right, morning sports fans. This is day 12 now, so we've had a bit of rain through the night, not masses, couple of little showers, so it's not massively wet all around. It's pack up time today. We're leaving this little camp today. It's been a good couple of days. I've really enjoyed this little camp. Okay, it's a shame about the fishing, but it isn't all about the fishing, and even if I didn't bring a fishing rod, I'd still be enjoying myself sat here. It's been really, really nice just to build a sort of semi-permanent camp for a couple of days and sit down and do a bit of whittling, paddling, fishing, swimming. Yesterday was roasting, so hot. I mean, I was laying in that tent at 10:30 last night in my pants. It was that bloody warm. But yeah, a little bit overcast today. So just about to have my breakfast, and then we're going to be looking at getting those tents dried down, getting them packed away. And we're paddling across the lake this morning to a get out on the other side where the camp was on our first day here. Get out there, and then we'll walk back up to the van and head down the road back to Glaskogen, pick up Matt's canoe and have a shower, and then head off to another country, over to Norway today. No plan at all. No plan at all of what we're doing. We're just going to find somewhere and enjoy the last couple of days, for me anyway, because Matt's staying there for a while, before we get back to the grind. Right, and so starts another day of adventure. It'll take us about half an hour to get back to our takeout, which was our first camp on this lake, and then probably about another 45 minutes with packing away the boats and a walk back to the van. Oh, so humid. I don't know what was worse actually, whether yesterday's heat or the humidity today.
Stars are tracing the sky like city windows. I watch you reflect in your eyes. Slow dance on a New York City high-rise. You and me on top of the world, and I'm feeling like it was only ever you. And I'm feeling like it was something I won't lose.
Well, that was fairly harmless, all packed up. That's our campsite from the first night, and off we go, leaving Lake Fishless. Here we are, back at good old faithful. Looks like the windows are intact as well. Whew. Right, good morning. Very wet night here last night. Absolutely hossed it down at about 3 o'clock this morning. Everything's absolutely soaked, but at least we've got this wind that's coming through now to help dry everything out. I think what we'll do is we'll sign off from this series of videos now, because I'm packing everything away. It's been an absolute fantastic 2 weeks. Really enjoyed myself. It's been great scenery, great fishing. The weather's been absolutely fantastic. Companionship's been really great. I've really enjoyed myself, and it's been an absolute great little wind down. I just want to take this moment to thank all of the sponsors that have supplied gear for this series of videos. Big thank you to Paqualife for supplying the Microraft by MRS. That Packraft is an absolute game changer. Absolutely love it. Big thank you to Rigged and Ready ready for supplying the travel rods, Serious Fishing for the fishing gear, Renier for the jerky, Real Termat for the food, Fjern for the gear, the waterproof gear, and all of the other bits and bobs that people have supplied me to come along and do this trip.